Oh, hi. My name is Jambi. I'm going to be telling the story of Africa, or continuing to tell. It's a long story, but it needs to be told. Because for me, 4 years ago, I realized that I did not know the story of Africa. My history, I did not know it. And the little that I thought I knew was actually distorted in history books. And when I was taught history in school, it was so different to the real story of Africa. And so now, obviously, with the media in our generation, so it's much easier to access the archives and the real history and to be able to really learn the true story of Africa. So I want to tell, and I want to learn it for myself and tell my child and get it known as much as I can, because what you don't know will hurt you, and when you know the truth, it will set you free. So there's a little tribe that I want to share with you, a little tribe in Kenya called the Pokomo. Now the Pokomo people, only a little tribe, they were there, just like everybody else, just like the bigger tribes, and the Mau Mau resistance in the fight for freedom in Kenya. Everybody fought for this thing, and we are so grateful that they did. But for the Pokomos, they kept animals, cattle, and when the British came, they took their cattle, and their cattle. I don't think they had any cattle. So they took their cattle, sheep and cows, and then they destroyed families, just like they did everywhere. The main goal was they destroyed the culture, they destroyed the religion, and they destroyed the family. When they did that, they had succeeded in destroying the people. So for the Pokomos, they've taken their men, they've scattered the women and the children, they've taken the cattle away, and then they went ahead and took the Pokomos' God. Actually, the Pokomo is quite interesting because the Pokomos worshipped God, but they also had a representation of God on earth. So it was sort of their God, but they said it was a representation whom they could touch, who could talk to them, who they could hear, and who roared. When he roared, it was reassuring to them that God can still hear them, that God is still around. So it's very, very sentimental and very important. And this thing was called the Ngadji. The Ngadji was made out of hollow wood. It's quite tall. And then outside it was covered with cow skin. So to you and me, nothing at all. It makes no sense. It's nothing. It's just a drum. But for the Pokomo people, it had so much meaning, so much hope lay in that thing, that when it was taken, the Pokomo people lost hope completely. And up to now, there is a generation that's still outgoing. They seem to live quite long. They live quite long. There's quite a few of them who are in their 90s, in the hundreds, and who are still waiting. And it's even worse because now they know that it's lying in the British Museum and one of their rooms storage. And they've been asking for it a couple of times, but the British have refused to give it back. So now, for the British, if you look, the British came, they soldiers, they did whatever they did, and they took this thing which had a lot of value to the Pokomo people. They took it back to London. For them, it's nothing. It was probably just a joke. Actually, is they just wanted to, I don't know. I'm just imagining. To them, it had no value, and still has no value to them. No sentimental, no religious, no nothing. No value to the British, but yet they keep it in the London Museum. Well, I suppose it brings some money for them. For the Pokomo people, it was their livelihood. It was everything. The reason they got up in the morning, the reason they go to bed, hoping to wake up again, is because the Ngadji was there and it was rolling. So they would listen to it. The whole village would be happy and hopeful. But that was taken from them. And there's some people still going to their graves in hopelessness, just not knowing what will happen to the next generation, fearing that their children's children will never have anything, will never be able to live, will never be secure because they don't have the Ngadji. So I just ask you guys, whenever, if you can, just support this channel, support the Ngadji, the inquiry on Ngadji, so that it can be returned. Because really, all this is not the only artifact, it's not the only thing that the British are holding. In fact, they're holding about 960 artifacts that shouldn't be there, that are not theirs. And they agree they're not ours, but they won't give it back. They won't give them back. And when asked why not, they say that they don't believe, for example, the Pokomos or the other tribes or people or government will be able to look after it. And yet before they got there, these things were valid and looked after and cared for. So it makes no sense. So I just have to keep telling this story. I don't know why I feel better when I know, but I think it changes some things in my mind. But next time I'm in London, I will go to the British Museum to have a look, see if I can see the Ngadji. And in fact, one of the sons of the kings of Pokomos has been to London. He lives in Liverpool, and he was sent to London to see it, and he was allowed, just so he can liaise and send that message to the people of Pokomo that it's still alive. But they want to see it. They want to hear it. It used to roll in the morning, and they want to see it. They want to hear that roll. It was their hope. So I know probably they're not going to get it soon, but I hope they do. I really hope they do. And I'm so pleased that the French have started giving back some of the artifacts. They all took things and they've started giving them back. So I hope the British will reconsider and give some of these things back. And that will be it for now. I will keep sharing my stories and the story of Africa. And please subscribe and like and watch and learn the story of Africa, because what you don't know will hurt you, and when you know the truth, it will set you free. Bye for now. Bye.